Backrooms is a 2026 horror film mixing regular and found footage to give a surreal horror experience. Keyword: experience.
A while back, I got invited by my friend to go watch the Backrooms movie with a group, and at the time, I only had a lukewarm experience with anything Backrooms related. I never watched the video, but I've seen clips here and there. And I was also in a call with that same friend, and he was playing a Backrooms game at the time, so I know what I'm talking about. The tickets were cheap, and it didn't seem like a bad time, but basically I was going in blind for the film, and all I knew to expect was the Yellow Rooms, Siren Head, that Roblox game IKEA SCP-3001. I agree, and a week later, we meet up at the cinema, and we get organized. After we get our seats, after we get in our places, and after we eat our popcorn, and after one person from the group was watching Cocomelon because he was scared, the film starts. The film has a strong start. They open with that found footage camera look, and it's done great, but I was hoping this wouldn't be the whole movie because it's a neat concept, but I'm not going to watch an hour of blurry, choppy, radio wave, aesthetic, vintage effects that's going to hurt your eyes after a while and get old real quick. The first person found footage look is used again in the film, but it's still done well. It's a part of the movie's look, and the camera in first person perspective gives a lot of unique visuals and great camera angles. That's what the first-person perspective does. It places you in the film and makes the movie have a larger effect on you. For the normal visuals, it's pretty normal. I don't know why, but it kind of reminded me how the FNAF movie was shot. Probably because both creators have like an 80s fetish or something. If you put the two films side by side, they could easily take place in the same universe. The movie's story, like it is there, and it does help the concept of the movie a little, but it's definitely got them horror movie tropes. And here's our stoner guy that gets turned to mulch later on in the film. I think everyone's main issue with the film is that there isn't enough of the backrooms, but specifically the monsters. A totally valid criticism for movies based on something is that they never really have enough of what they're based on in the film. But the divide specifically in this movie is that there isn't the average TikTok backrooms monster in the movie. Which, if you're expecting, you're totally going to be let down, but no spoilers. The film is directed by Kane, and he's mostly the original creator of the group. I say mostly because the Backrooms is a concept that splits into so many versions, like the SCP Foundation, where you have a concept and everyone submits their entries and piles onto the idea, but that means there's so many different versions of that one idea, and usually the most popular one is seen as fact. Now, Kane Parsons was the one who founded the Backrooms concept, but the Backrooms concept itself has changed, and that's where everybody has their own versions of the Backrooms that they were expecting in the film, and I think that's where going in blind helped me. Because if you're expecting Demon Skilly Winky to be in the film, then like I said, you're not getting it. There's only 2 or 3 monsters we ever really see in the film, and when they are in the film, we usually see them from first-person angles. So that means you're not seeing the monster, you're looking through the monster. So we barely get to see any of the monsters in the film. Now, the more valid criticism is that they didn't include enough of the actual backrooms itself. You know, the rooms. We do see some variety in floors, but it's your typical office spaces and pools backrooms aesthetic. Now, to expand a little more, the film plays with the first-person perspective a lot, and it's great as a horror element. It really puts you in the scene, and they do such a good job of blending the real world with the backrooms to where it makes you worry as the audience about being lost in the backrooms, that you can't find an escape, even if there is one. Talking more about the movie's story, there's a lot of unique things the movie does for the backrooms concept that changes how you think about the backrooms and how the backrooms work. I thought the horror was good, playing a lot into the background with the noise, playing with the fact that there's something always in the backrooms alive. But I agree it could have used more backrooms aspects, or at the very least more horror, which is what I genuinely heard as feedback from people. Me personally, it was a great experience, keyword experience. It got really into my head, and to be honest, even after the film, I tried avoiding thinking about the whole backrooms concept, because it's very possible it could happen, you just never know. Now, wrapping things up, the ending of the Backrooms movie is a bit absurd and surreal, leaving the audience questioning themselves. Now, the audience isn't questioning themselves like in Inception's ending, where you don't know how it really ends until 10 years later, but rather the Backrooms movie gives an ending where you can interpret what the film has set up in a certain way. Now, I'm trying to avoid saying certain spoilers, But what I mean is that in the Backrooms movie, they set up a concept for the Backrooms, and the ending of the Backrooms movie can serve as confirming that said concept the Backrooms movie sets up. Did I mention it was the Backrooms movie? After the movie, when we were headed back home, I brought up the idea of a sequel, but I said I wouldn't watch it. The sequel would expand on what's been set up before, and the story that's been set up in this film isn't enough for me to go watch another 2 hours for it in a sequel. Again, it was a good experience, but I'm not watching a sequel that does the same thing as this movie and or expands on these characters that I'm not dying to see again. Overall, with everything said, I think I liked it better than most people who saw the film. Probably because I wasn't expecting some random loud monster that just hunts everyone down, which ironically does happen in the film, just not how you think. It serves as a great horror experience. I don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is, but the stuff I watched can definitely be questionable, so take it as you will. I wasn't bored, tickets were cheap, popcorn was good until all the salt replaced all the moisture in my lips, and it was a good horror experience. As an experience, I say 7 out of 10. As for the movie, probably equal to or less, not more. Here's what the group of people I went with thought about the film.
Not that horror. It's me that fuck.
A fost mediocre. The film was mediocre. However, it really replicated really well the Backrooms randomness and always watching you type of atmosphere. But it teased very much horror, but there wasn't much. Unless for that one scene.
What's your opinion?
Yeah,
The start it's good.
Yes.
Mid is mid. Not very well, not very bad. The end, it's kind of weird.
it was a piece of shit. It was trash. I wish him not the worst, but I wish to poop himself. The director to poop himself every time. Don't recommend. Watch scary movie.
What?
God bless you all.
No, don't watch it.
Not high expectations, low quality of the film.
You started? Yeah, okay. We're at the Backrooms movie.